3.3 is called solve mixture problems or applications. And it's all about problems where you're mixing 2 or 3 things together and you're trying to find out how much of each there are. So for instance, you're going to have something like that there's a bag of quarters and dimes. You have a total of 51 coins and they add up to $10.95. And you have to figure out how many of both of them there are. Now remember that a quarter is 25 cents and a dime is 10 cents. And we're going to use that. First of all, we know that quarters plus dimes equals 51 because we have 51 coins. So what I'm going to do is use the fact that a quarter is 25 cents and a dime is 10, and we're going to say that, actually we also know here with that using that 0.25 plus 0.25Q plus 0.1D equals 10.95. So what we have to do is put this first equation into this one. So what I'm going to do is solve for D, and the reason I'm going to solve for D is because 0.1 is easier to multiply everything by than 0.25. So D equals 51 minus Q. So I'm going to put this 51 minus Q into for D. So it's 0.25 Q plus 0.1 in parentheses 51 minus Q equals 10.95. So now I'm going to have to erase this part so I have some room. So now I'm going to solve for D and find out how many dimes there are, and then I'll be able to solve for the quarters. So I have to distribute the 0.1. So what I'm going to have now is 0.25Q plus 5.1 minus 0.1Q equals 10.95. Now I'm going to combine like terms, and I'll have 0.15Q plus 5.1 equals 10.95. Subtract the 5.1 and have 0.15Q equals 5.85. Divide both sides by 0.15, and D is going to equal 39. So now I know what D equals. In order to find Q, I need to put it into here, or just subtract 51 minus 39, and that equals 12 quarters. So you're going to have to do quite a few of these type. I would suggest going over this example quite a few times and practicing it as many times as you need to. The next type of question is that you're going to have a total of $3.75, and it's all of nickels and quarters. But here, it says that there are 9 more nickels than quarters. So now we're going back to what we did before, where we have no idea how many quarters we have, but we know that our nickels is quarters plus 9. So, but we're going to use that same thing, 0.25Q plus And 0.05 is how much a quarter is, but our nickel is Q plus 9, and that equals 3.75. So now we have to distribute our 0.05, so we have 0.25 Q plus 0.05 Q plus 0.45 equals 3.75. Combine like terms, and we're going to get 0.3 Q plus 0.45 equals 3.75. Subtract the 0.45. We have 3.30 equals 0.3 Q. Divide by 0.3. And we're going to get that Q equals 11. All right, so if Q equals 11, now we just have to figure out what our nickels equal. So 11 plus 9 equals 20 nickels. All right, so that's how you'll do this one. The next one is going to be that there are 94 people at a concert. Adults cost $3, and children, the child ticket is $2.25. The total brought in was $243. So how many of each ticket was sold? So I'm going to do here, we know that C plus A equals 94. And so I'm going to solve for A. So A equals 94 minus C. So we know that the adults cost $3. So it's going to be 3 times 94 minus C and plus 225 times C, and that's going to equal 243. Distribute our 3, and we get 282 minus 3C plus 2.25C equals 243. Combine like terms, 282 minus 0.75C equals 243. Now I'm going to have to subtract the 282 from both sides. And when I do that, I'm going to get negative 0.75 C equals negative 39, and divide both sides by the negative 0.75, and C is going to equal 52 tickets. So to find the adults, I need to say 94 minus 52 equals 42 adults. So that's how you'll do this one. Then you're going to have some where you're making some kind of a recipe. So the first one is doing 2 different types of coffee. And let's say that the Terrazza costs $9.90 per pound. Kona costs $12.30 per pound. And what you want to do is make 100 pounds that will cost $10.12 per pound. So what we're going to do here, we know that we're going to have a total of 100 pounds. So we're going to just say 9.9 because first we're going to solve for terrazza, and it's plus, and we know that there's a total of 100 pounds, so we're going to say 100 minus x times the 12.3. So x plus 100 minus x equals the total of 100 pounds. And that's going to equal the 100 pounds, and it is $10.12 per pound. So 9.9 times x pounds plus 12.3 times 100 minus x pounds equals 100 pounds times 10.12. So now when I work this out, we're going to have 9.9x plus 12.3, 123 minus 12.3x equals 1012. Okay, that's 1230. So 9.9x plus 1230 minus 12.3x equals 1012. So we can combine like terms and we get negative 2.4x plus 1230 equals 1012. Subtract the 1230 from both sides, we get negative 2.4x equals negative 218. Divide both sides by the negative 2.4, and x equals 91. So if we already have 91 pounds, we need a total of 100 pounds. That means the Kona will equal 9 pounds. Now I didn't show all the work on this one, just because I want you to be able to see the whole problem on the one screen here for a little bit. So we need $9.90 per pound of the terrazza, $12.30 per pound of the Kona. We need to make a total of 100 pounds, and we want the total to cost $10.12. So I'm just going to put the x for the 990. That means 100, because t, or x plus y, equals 100. So 100 minus x times the 1230, and it's 100 pounds times 1012. And then I just solve everything. First I distributed the 12.3 times 100 is 1,230 minus 12.3x. Combined like terms, 9.9 minus 12.3 is negative 2.4. Then I subtract the 1230 from 1012, and I get negative 218. Divide both sides by the negative 2.4, and I get the x, or the terrazza, is 91, and 100 minus 91 is 9. Make that a little bit easier to read. Alright, so the last type, let's say that chocolate costs $10.90 per pound, and we want to make, and the trail mix, or 22 pounds. We have 22 pounds of trail mix that costs $2.90 per pound, and we want to make a mixture that's worth $6.01. So what we need to do is find out, we have 22 pounds of trail mix. What we want to know is how much chocolate do we need to make this mixture. So we have no idea how much chocolate we need. So 10.90 x plus, and we know that we have 22 pounds of trail mix that costs $2.90, and that equals, so we don't know how much a total mixture is going to be. So it's going to be x plus this 22. And it's going to be worth 6.01. So this is how you're going to do this one. You have no idea what the chocolate is, but you do know what the trail mix is, and you don't know how much the total is. So that's where you're going to have to distribute. You're going to have x plus this 22. So I'm going to distribute, and we have 10.90x plus 63.8 equals, I'm going to distribute the 6.01. So we have 6.01x plus 13.22. Now I'm going to move all of my x's to this side, my numbers to this one. So I'm going to subtract 6.01x. And that means I'm going to subtract the 63.8. That should have been 132.22. This is 132.22 minus 63.8. And I'm going to get 4.89x equals 68.42. Divide both sides by 4.89. And I'm going to get that x equals 14 pounds of chocolate. So to recap this one, we have that chocolate costs $10.90 a pound, and we have 22 pounds of trail mix that costs $2.90 per pound. We want to make a mixture that's worth 6.01. So we're going to say 10.9, and we want to know how much chocolate do we need to add to our 22 pounds of trail mix. So 10.9x plus 22 pounds times $2.90 equals x plus 22 for the total pounds that we're going to have times 6.01. We're going to distribute the 6.01 and multiply the 22 times 2.90. So we have 10.90x plus 63.8 equals 6.01x plus 132.22. I'm going to move my number x's to the left and numbers to the right, so they're all positive. So I'm subtracting 6.01x from both sides and 63.8 from both sides, which will give me 4.89x. That's equal to 68.42. And when I divide both sides by 4.89, I'm going to get that we have 14 pounds of chocolate that we need to add. And that is it for section 3.3.